Welcome to Midnight Story, where stories are not only heard, but felt. Tonight, we open the doors to a building that holds 1,000 secrets, an architectural wonder, yet haunted by sorrow and spirits. Brace yourself as we step inside Lawang Sewu, the 1,000 Doors. Lawang Sewu, meaning 1,000 doors, stands tall in the heart of Semarang, Indonesia. At first glance, it is a majestic colonial building, adorned with countless tall windows and massive wooden doors. But behind its elegant facade lies a chilling history, and ghost stories whispered for generations. Construction began in 1904 by the Dutch colonial government. Lawang Sewu served as the headquarters of Nederlandse Spoorweg Maatschappij Nederland, the Dutch East Indies Railway Company, strategically located near Tugu Muda and the city's main train station. It was a symbol of progress and modern infrastructure at the time. Designed by Dutch architects J.F. Klinkhammer and B.J. Owandag, the building was completed in 1907 with Indo-European architecture that reflected the colonial ambition of the Netherlands. But the building's function shifted during World War II. In 1942, when the Japanese army occupied Indonesia, Lawang Sewu was taken over by the Kempeitai, Japan's brutal military police. It was during this era that the building became a house of horrors. The basement of Building A was transformed into a prison, a place of torture, interrogation, and death. Many Indonesian resistance fighters were imprisoned, tortured, and executed in darkness. Some were left to rot in narrow, suffocating vertical cells. Their cries of agony still echo in the silence. Some say, after Indonesia's independence, the building was used by the Indonesian army and later abandoned. It was during this abandonment that the paranormal tales began to flourish. Lawang Sewu. It's not just grand from the outside. Inside, behind its countless doors, lies a darker story, far beyond history. There are rooms here that feel ... alive. Not with people, but with something else. Something unseen, but deeply present. First, the underground dungeon in Building A's basement was once used as a prison during the Japanese occupation. Dark, airless, sealed from sunlight. Its walls are still damp, as if they've been weeping silently for decades. Some say you can still hear the dragging of chains when no one is there. Others feel a sudden biting cold, followed by a faint voice calling softly from behind the bricks. Next is the spiral staircase in Building A. This winding staircase connects the lower floors to the attic above. Many have reported seeing a woman in white, long hair cascading down her shoulder, standing silently at the top of the stairs. Still, staring, unblinking. Some say she's a Dutch lady from the colonial past. Others believe she was a victim of torture. Whoever she is, one thing is certain. This staircase is more than just a way up. It might be a way in. The long corridor in Building B. This hallway is always dark, even in broad daylight. Footsteps are often heard, pacing behind visitors, slow, deliberate. But when you turn around, there's no one there. Occasionally, a black shadow glides from one room to another. No sound, no face, just the unmistakable feeling that you are not alone. The vertical prison cells, perhaps the cruelest room in Lawang Sewu. Prisoners were lowered into narrow vertical holes, barely wide enough to stand in. No food, no water, no light. They were left there to die slowly, in absolute silence. Now, the space is sealed off, but those who dare to enter sometimes hear whispers, sobs, even screams, rising from beneath the floorboards. They say the souls of the tortured never truly left. Those are the rooms that are considered haunted. Then there are any ghosts that are often seen in Lawang Sewu. The woman in white, the colonial spirit. She appears most often on the spiral staircase. A pale woman, dressed in a flowing white gown. Her face is delicate, almost serene, but her eyes empty, like they've seen too much. Some claim she was once a Dutch official's wife, trapped forever in a building that took everything from her. She doesn't move, she simply watches. And sometimes, if you stare too long, she vanishes, or worse, reappears behind you. The shadow figure, the watcher. This one is the most disturbing. It doesn't have a face, it doesn't make a sound, and yet you always feel it. A tall, dark silhouette, often spotted in security camera footage, lurking in hallways, peeking from open doors, or standing still in far corners of the archive room. It moves when you're not looking. It waits where you've already passed, and those who encounter it describe an overwhelming pressure in their chest, as if the room itself is closing in. Some believe it is not a human spirit, but something older, something that feeds on fear itself. The Pocong, the wrapped spirit. Yes, even a Pocong, a ghost wrapped in its own burial shroud, has been seen near the back gardens of Lawang Sewu. The white figure is often spotted, bobbing slightly, as if floating a few centimeters above the ground. Its head and limbs tightly bound, no face, only a hollow shape, drenched in moisture and decay. It appears most often on rainy nights, when the city is quiet, and only the dead remember to visit. The crying voice, the forgotten souls. In the stillness of night, deep within the lower levels of the building, many have heard crying, soft, heartbreaking. Sometimes it's a woman, sometimes a child, calling out in languages long forgotten. But no one is ever there. Some say these are the souls of tortured prisoners. Others believe the building itself remembers pain, and when it gets too quiet, that pain speaks. Many visitors have fainted, cried uncontrollably, or experienced possession after exploring certain parts of the building. Even security guards have resigned due to constant spiritual disturbances at night. Despite its chilling tales, Lawang Sewu remains a cultural heritage site and a popular destination for both history enthusiasts and ghost hunters alike, because sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. And so, behind the elegance of 1,000 doors lie 1,000 sorrows, and perhaps 1,000 spirits. Lawang Sewu is more than a building. It is a monument to memory, mystery, and mourning. Would you dare to walk its halls alone after dark? Thank you for listening to Midnight Story. Don't forget to follow, like, and share before something follows you home.